my crafty friends, it's Tina here from the Scrappin Rabbit blog, and I am going to be making some treat bags today. So I thought I'd go ahead and make a video and show you guys what I did. So the first thing I wanted to show you was where I got the idea. I made this card for the Craft and Desert Divas new release that is this week, and I used this holographic embossing powder. And this is pretty old. I've had this on my shelf for years and years. It's from Stampin' Up, and I guess they don't make it anymore, but I got a lot of really great feedback on this card, and it was so fun, and I had a lot of people ask me, how did you do that? So I'm going to be making some treat bags, and I have to make 30 of them. Yes, 30 of them for this swap that I'm going to this weekend. And so I wanted to make something that wasn't going to take me 10 years, and I wanted to use my stamps, but then coloring 30 images, I just don't think that I could do it in 1 week. And by the way, I just found out about this goodie bag thing just a few days ago, so I didn't have a lot of time to prepare. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and use my holographic embossing powder with the stamps, and then that way I don't have to color. And so I'm going to make some treat bags, and I'm going to use this, and so I wanted to show you guys how to do it. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get some black cardstock, and this particular black cardstock that I'm using is from Michaels. It's the Recollections brand, and I really like to use this with my Cricut, and it's a really good versatile cardstock, and since I'm not going to be using any alcohol markers on this, it's going to work perfect for my project. I'm going to be using this white pigment-based ink, and it's called White Daisy. It's from Close to My Heart, and it's pretty thick, and it takes a little while to dry, so it works perfect for using with embossing powder, and of course the holographic embossing powder from Stampin' Up. So I'm going to use these images here to stamp. I love, love, love this set, and I decided I'm going to do the ghost, and I'm going to do the cat, and this one is the Fright Night set, and this one here is Boo, and I'm going to do that little spider. So those are the 3 little images that I'm going to stamp, and I'm going to make 10 of those little goodie bag boxes with each of the images. So I have my little kitty, and so let me show you. You're just going to ink up your stamp really well, and the white works really well with the black background, and it helps you to really see it. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp on here. And then I'm going to pour my embossing powder on it. Put a good amount because you're going to really want it to stick on there. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp another one. Maybe I can do 2 or 3 at a time. I'm going to be die cutting these out with a die, so I just want to make sure I have enough room around the kitty for my die to fit, and it should be fine. Okay, so once you have a good amount of powder on there, then you'll have to shake the excess off. And for me, that is just using this folded paper. Switch it around. Get it back in there. And then I like to give it a little flick to get any of the excess powder off. And there you go. And then if you have any residual powder on there, you can flick it, continue to flick, or you can use a little brush to get it off. And with the black powder, it's much harder to use those anti-static tools to prevent the extra powder from adhering, because it actually will show up on the black powder, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. Okay? And then you have your heat tool, which I have. Mine is pretty old. I've had it forever. And what you want to do is you want to turn it on and have it going for a few seconds to heat it up. And then once you have some really nice hot air, then you go ahead and emboss it. And that way you don't end up having the heat hitting your paper, because your paper will curl and sometimes even burn if you have the gun on there too long. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on and heat it up. Once I feel like it's pretty hot, then I'm going to go ahead and watch the powder and make sure that it's melting. And there you go. And so I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of hard in certain light, but it has a nice little reflective. It's a thin outline, so it's not as reflective as the spider web was, but it shows up really cute on the paper, and then now I don't have to color it up. And I can go ahead and die cut that out and put it to the front of my goodie boxes. So that's how you do that. And then so I'll do that with the ghost stamp and then the little spider. Where's the spider? The spider. So I'm going to ink those up and I'm going to stamp them, and then I'll be die cutting them out. Okay? And so I'm going to do a few of those and then I'll be back. Okay, so I am back and I have stamped and embossed all of my kitties and my ghosts and my spider with the web, and all of these are cut out with the Craftin' Desert Divas dies. This is from the banner dies, and there's an oval included, and it's got stitching. This is from the new die set, and I believe this one is from the pocket high dies, pocket pieces high dies, and it's like a postage stamp one, which is pretty neat. And this little one was part of the fancy frames, and so it's a little rectangle. And what I decided to do was cut out 30 boxes with my Cricut, and so they're going to be little goodie boxes. And I found a really cute box on the Plantin schoolbook cartridge, and it's like a little tote. And I picked this one because the cut is all length or in the width, and so you can lay 2 of these on. You can get 2 boxes with every 8.5 by 11 sheet. And so I put those in there, and then my Cricut does the score lines on them, and then so all I'll need to do is, oh, I got a little ink on that, fold it up and tape it. And what I like to use for my boxes is this red tape, and I can't remember what it's called, but I did get these from the Cricut website, and I'm not sure that they sell it anymore, because when I got it, it was really, really cheap, and it seemed like they were trying to get rid of it. But anyways, it works really well at keeping the boxes together, because that's one thing that I find is that a lot of times if you make 3D items, if you don't really use a good glue, you'll find that a week or 2 later, that thing is just falling apart. And so I prefer to use either liquid glue, so I do like this one. I use this for my box cards, and or if you want something that you don't have to wait for it, you don't want it to get all wet and goopy and you're in a hurry, you can just use this tape. And so I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to use the tape. So with the score lines, all you have to do is basically follow the lines and then do a crease and do a little fold. And I'm not going to worry about that ink because it's going to be on the inside of my box. And so just go through and use your bone folder and get some nice sharp creases on there. And what I like to do is I like to decorate my box before I glue it together, because otherwise it's harder to glue the things on to the front of a box that's already folded. And so just fold it over and then use your bone folder. I'm trying to do this quickly because I do have 30 of them to make. And it shouldn't take me too long, as long as I don't make it too detailed. So what I'm going to do is I do have those creases and those folds, and so what I had cut out was these little panels to put on the front, and I have 3 different ones, with some die cuts with a view Halloween stacks that I have. And so I found 3 patterns that I liked, and I thought, okay, this one will look really cute with the spider. And then I have this one to go with the ghost, or this one, I don't know. I think this one for the ghost, and then the kitty. I think I like those together like that. But putting it all together, glue them to the front of your panels, and then once you have that glued to the front, then you'll go ahead and tape the bottom shut, and then it'll be a little tote like this with your little designs. So I thought, okay, I could squeeze some little candies in there, and oh, I got a little post-it note on this one. There you go. Maybe I'll add a little tag. So I'm going to get to work, and I'm going to start folding these together and gluing the front panels on there, and then we'll take a look. Okay, so I am back, and I finished one of each different kind of box to show you. So what I did was I put everything together, glued the box together and everything, and then I used this really pretty sparkly ribbon. I have it in orange, purple, and black, and I think I got these at the Dollar Tree. I mean, I think I got them really cheap somewhere. And I used this die from the Mix It Up die set to make the little tag, and I had this little sentiment fit perfectly on there, feline spooky, and then I have this one where I did boo, and this one where I used the Say It Big stamps for the sentiment hi. And there you go. So I have 27 more to do, and that's okay because this actually went pretty quick for a stamping project. So since these are going to some crafty and creative people, I wanted to do something special, but I didn't want to spend a ton of time, and you know how coloring can really take a lot of time. So this is an idea and a way that you can incorporate stamping in your project without having to do the coloring. So I hope you enjoyed my project, and I'm going to get busy getting the rest of these done and filling them up with little goodies. So I thank you for watching and subscribing and liking my video. I hope that you were inspired to maybe do some of your own Halloween treat bags for some of your crafty friends. And thank you guys so much. Have a great week and happy crafting. Bye.